So Keith, you're here, final 4 weeks of preparation for Thurman-Pacquiao, and really what I wanted to do is just talk about the preparation. Can you walk me through camp, what you've done, if you've done anything differently than you would normally do to prepare for Manny?
Well, off rip, Manny Pacquiao has always been just a tremendous fighter, But with that said, he's a tremendous fighter. He's not a technician, He doesn't have the best defense in the sport, He's known for his offense, a little bit of his angle work, but, he's not a welterweight. He's not a big welterweight. A lot of the welterweights that he fought when he was making a name for himself from back in the day when he beat Ricky Hatton, when he beat Oscar De La Hoya, when he beat Sugar Shane Mosley, they weren't in their prime, And now this is the time where I'm in my prime. Manny's not in his prime, yet he's fighting an undefeated welterweight champion of the world who's younger, bigger, stronger, He's been in the ring with strong opponents before. He's been in the ring with bigger opponents before. He hasn't been in the ring with a lot of younger opponents before. He's not a technician. I believe that my ring IQ and my footwork is just above Manny Pacquiao. He's handled boxers. He beat Chris Algieri. He beat people that move around the ring. So, like I said, he's a tremendous fighter. He comes to fight. But when we were in California a few weeks ago, and Freddie Roach says, I really hope that Thurman sits down and is a man of his word and trades with us, also sounds like, I hope he doesn't use that tremendous footwork he has, because it could be a potential threat to Manny Pacquiao. I like to read into people's comments, right?
Right.
And why would a trainer say, I hope he really stands up to be a man of his word? Freddie Roach knows boxing. Freddie Roach understands game plan and strategy, and he knows that if I use my footwork, it can make his job that much harder trying to tell Manny, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, because he knows Manny's limitations and that I can pose a threat there.
I think people forget who you are in the landscape of the welterweight division. Somehow people in their minds have created this narrative that maybe you lost a step, maybe that, you're not the same Keith Thurman. What do you have to say?
Of course, 2 years out, and that was 10 weeks of work, and it was hard. It was grueling. It just wasn't easy. But we take the momentum from that 10-week camp. We had a few months off after the fight, and then we got back into training in preparation for this fight. And it's been 4 years since the world has seen me fight twice in 1 year. Not only am I fighting twice in 1 year, I'm practically fighting twice in 6 months almost.
Which is good for you.
June, July,
right.
It's 7 months.
Which is good for you.
Yeah.
It's good to get back in.
And it shows that I want to be active again, right? I missed 2 years in my prime. It's very hard I didn't want to talk about it, to a point I still don't really want to talk about it, but it's very depressing for somebody who hits the highlight of their career to go and get out of the sport of boxing. Again, a great fighter, not just as an athlete, as a boxer, but great overall for the sport of boxing by making this fight. This is one of the most exciting fights of the year, and I plan on having one of the most exciting performances as well.
Right. They say that the only person undefeated in boxing is Father Time. So you're the favorite. You have youth. You're undefeated. You're a true welterweight. Was there anything else that you did for this camp specifically? I know that you've hooked up with Yo Murphy.
We're here. ASPI.
And so tell me a little bit about that. I want to know from your perspective if what you've done differently and how you feel that's going to help you moving into July 20.
Well, like I told people at the presser, my comeback fight earlier this year wasn't the greatest performance of my career. I wasn't expecting to have the greatest performance. Nobody should have expected that, right? But how did I prep for that fight? I prepped that all by myself at a LA Fitness, okay? And people laugh and they think the champ's lying. but I'm not. Why would I do that? You know? And it wasn't to disrespect my opponent. It's that I knew that my boxing ability can get through how tough and his move forward style. Styles makes fights. I understand boxing very well. Because Manny Pacquiao is who he is, 40, 50, 60, this dude has been looking good. He's been winning fights while I've been injured. He's been more active than me, and yet here I am taking on this challenge. Here he is taking on the challenge. The beautiful thing about this big fight, regardless if I'm the favorite, it's not a huge spread. It's not the Anthony Joshua kind of spread, right?
Right.
So an upset could still happen. Upsets can always happen, right? There's teams that people expect to win, don't win, okay? This is a competitive sport. It's anybody's ball game. But for me, I've beaten Manny Pacquiao every single day in my life. He's just not prepared to fight a Keith Thurman. Out of all the people he's ever fought, he's never fought a Keith Thurman. He's not fought a fighter like me. There's not a lot of fighters out there like me. I plan on proving it every single time I step into the ring. And really, to Manny Pacquiao, I'm just going to present a big challenge, and I'm going to present a big punch, and I'm going to see how he handles it. He has short arms. He has to make up with that with his footwork, which makes him jump in,
right,
which is a risky tactic. Okay? So there's his strength is also his weakness. You know, it's a double-edged sword.
Right.
So I've always wanted this fight. I wanted this fight 6 years ago. Back when I wanted Floyd Mayweather, I wanted Manny Pacquiao. They were ranked above me. I wanted to fight these ranked fighters, the best fighters in the world. Manny Pacquiao is not the number one welterweight in the world today. I plan on proving and showing why he's not the number one welterweight in the world today. And to me, any fight he picked in the welterweight division right now is a dangerous fight.
Right.
You know, past Lucas Matisse and Adrian Broner, if he wants to elevate himself, he's stepping into a dangerous situation. Whether it be Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, doesn't matter. There's no easy fights for Pacquiao right now, and he's got Keith Thurman.
So Keith, any other parting words of wisdom for the audience?
I mean, this is just going to be a great fight, man. Don't miss it. I'm training hard, 2-a-days, all the time. I got a strict diet, and I'm ready. I'm fired up for this. I hope you are too.